If you are over 60 years old, I need to tell you something important, something I've seen too many seniors learn too late. Weak legs are not just part of aging. What's on your plate may be doing more harm to your legs than the number of candles on your last birthday cake. I've spent over 3 decades helping older adults regain strength, confidence, and independence. And again, I see the same mistake. Eating foods they think are harmless, even healthy, but which quietly chip away at their muscle, their bones, and their balance. You might think you're just getting older, but what if your diet is the real reason you struggle to get up from a chair, walk long distances, or feel heaviness in your thighs? What if changing one thing on your plate could bring back the strength you thought was gone forever? Today, I'll reveal 5 common foods secretly damaging your legs, and what to eat instead to stay strong, steady, and mobile. This is your turning point. If you haven't subscribed to the Senior Strength channel yet, I recommend hitting that subscribe button and turning on the notification bell. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can create better content for you. Number 1. Processed sugar, the silent muscle killer. Let me ask you something. Have you ever finished your lunch and then, out of habit, reached for a small cookie or a piece of candy, not because you were hungry, but because it just felt like a reward? I see it all the time in my clinic. My patients are smart, careful, and trying their best to eat well. But that little bit of sugar they allow themselves day after day can quietly become a daily thief, robbing them of the strength in their legs without them even realizing it. The reason is simple, but often overlooked. Sugar inflames the body, and inflammation is the silent enemy of mobility. Every teaspoon of sugar you eat triggers a cascade of effects. First, it causes your blood sugar to spike, giving you a short burst of energy. But then comes the crash, and with that crash comes fatigue, not just in your mind, but in your muscles. Over time, this up and down roller coaster weakens your muscle endurance, especially in the legs. But sugar's damage runs deeper than energy. It feeds chronic inflammation, which attacks your joints. In my years of experience, some of the most common complaints I hear, aching knees, tight calves, stiff ankles, often improve drastically within just a few weeks when patients cut back on sugar. I remember a patient named Linda, 67 years old. She had trouble climbing stairs and felt heavy in her legs by mid-afternoon. We removed the soda, cut the nightly ice cream, and in just 3 weeks, she told me, "Doctor, I walked around the block today without stopping. That hasn't happened in years." Sugar also plays a hidden role in weakening bones. It interferes with calcium absorption, making your bones more fragile over time. Seniors who consume high-sugar diets are at greater risk of fractures, especially in the hips and ankles. A minor fall can turn into a major injury when your bones are starved of strength. And what most people don't realize is that sugar isn't just in desserts. It's hidden in so-called healthy foods: low-fat yogurts, salad dressings, canned soups, and breakfast cereals. That's why awareness is everything. The first step is learning to read labels. Even just 10-15 grams of added sugar each day, repeated over time, can slowly chip away at your leg strength. Second, swap out refined sugar for natural alternatives. Try a few dates instead of candy. Use raw honey in place of white sugar. Add cinnamon to your oatmeal or smoothie instead of syrup. Not only will you reduce inflammation, but you'll also help balance your blood sugar and support your muscles. More importantly, listen to your body. If you often feel sluggish after a meal, notice swelling in your knees, or struggle to walk for long without rest, sugar may be a bigger culprit than you think. Many of my patients feel the difference within a month of cutting back, even those in their 70s and 80s. It's never too late to reclaim your strength. And remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being better. Every time you say no to processed sugar, you're saying yes to stronger legs, better balance, and a life with fewer limits. That's a trade worth making. In the next part, we'll look at another food that's even more damaging, because it affects not just your muscles, but your circulation. You won't want to miss this. Number 2, deep-fried and fast foods, the hidden enemy of your joints. There's something about the smell of fried food that takes us back. Maybe it's a childhood memory, a favorite diner, or a holiday picnic. Fried chicken, golden French fries, onion rings, all warm, crispy, comforting. But for seniors, what feels like comfort is often quietly becoming pain. In my practice, I've seen countless older adults who think their joint stiffness, swelling, or leg heaviness is just aging. But when we dig deeper, when we look at the food, they're shocked. It's not just age, it's the oil. Fried and fast foods are packed with trans fats and inflammatory oils that don't just affect your waistline. They inflame your joints, weaken your cartilage, and slow your blood circulation. That inflammation shows up as stiffness in the knees, swelling in the ankles, and a grinding sensation when walking. Over time, it wears down the joints. I had a patient named George, 70 years old, who loved fast food. He came to me because he couldn't make it up his own front steps without gripping the railing. We didn't prescribe painkillers. We cut the fries. 3 months later, he told me, "I still miss the taste, but I don't miss the pain." Fast food doesn't just trigger inflammation, it steals your circulation. And for strong legs, healthy blood flow is everything. When circulation is poor, muscles don't get enough oxygen or nutrients. That leads to fatigue, cramping, and that dragging feeling many seniors think is just normal. It's not. Fried foods thicken your blood and narrow your arteries. The result? Your muscles starve slowly, step by step. What most people don't realize is how this affects balance. Weak muscles can't stabilize joints. And once your balance is off, your risk of falling skyrockets. For seniors, even one bad fall can lead to a hip fracture, and research from the CDC shows that nearly 1 in 3 seniors who suffer a hip fracture never fully recover their independence. Think about that. One fall, one moment. It starts with what's on your plate. Even worse, fried foods block mineral absorption. They prevent your body from holding on to calcium and magnesium, minerals that protect your bones and reduce nerve pain. When these minerals are depleted, bones become fragile. Nerves become more sensitive. That tingling in your legs, that shooting pain at night, it might be linked to what's frying in your kitchen, but there's hope. You don't have to give up flavor to protect your joints. Try baking your chicken instead of deep frying it. Use an air fryer with olive oil spray. Roast sweet potatoes instead of ordering fries. Add spices like turmeric and rosemary, not only for taste, but for their anti-inflammatory properties. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. And finally, don't underestimate the emotional side of fried food. Many of us connect those meals to happy memories, but the truth is we can create new ones, with meals that comfort our hearts and protect our legs, one healthy choice at a time. In the next part, I'll show you a food group that seems full of protein, but is quietly draining your strength. You might be eating it every morning. In the last 2 sections, we uncovered how sugar and fried foods are silently sabotaging your legs. We saw how sugar, often hidden in snacks and drinks, inflames your joints, weakens your muscles, and even strips calcium from your bones. Then, we explored how deep-fried and fast foods trigger widespread inflammation and block circulation, making your legs feel heavier and your joints less stable with every bite. Together, these common foods are creating a storm inside your body, draining energy, stealing balance, and slowly taking away your freedom to move without pain. Now let's turn to another dangerous food group that many seniors rely on daily without realizing the cost. Number 3, processed meats, destroying muscle strength. Bite by bite. Most people don't think twice about the ham in their sandwich or the bacon with their eggs. It's familiar. It's easy. It's what we grew up with. But for seniors, these processed meats may be doing more harm than good, especially when it comes to leg strength. In my clinic, I've seen patients lose muscle faster than they should. And when we look at their diet, one thing keeps showing up: deli meats, sausages, hot dogs. They seem like protein, but they don't act like it in your body. Processed meats are loaded with sodium, preservatives, and nitrates, chemicals that your muscles don't know what to do with. Instead of nourishing you, they inflame your tissue, cause fluid retention, and disrupt your body's ability to absorb real nutrients. One of the first things patients tell me after cutting processed meats is, "My legs feel lighter." That's not a coincidence. Excess sodium causes swelling in the legs, ankles, and feet. That puffiness may seem mild, but it makes each step harder, every climb more tiring, and your balance more unstable. But swelling is just the start. Those nitrates and additives found in bacon and deli meat, they trigger chronic inflammation, especially in your joints and muscles. When your muscles are inflamed, they can't repair, grow, or respond well to exercise. Even light activity becomes exhausting. I had a patient named Richard, 74, who had started walking again, but kept feeling soreness that never went away. We realized he was eating ham sandwiches every afternoon. Once he switched to grilled chicken and beans, he called me after 2 weeks and said, "Doc, I'm finally walking without that pain in my thighs." There's also the issue of nutrient absorption. Your muscles thrive on high-quality protein, iron, and essential amino acids. But the chemicals in processed meats interfere with how your digestive system absorbs these nutrients. That means your muscles are slowly being starved, even if you're eating something labeled as protein. Over time, this accelerates muscle loss, especially in the legs, making it harder to stay mobile and independent. Let's also talk about your bones. Processed meats increase the acid load in your body, which in turn leaches calcium from your bones. It's a hidden link many seniors never learn about until they experience a fracture. If your bones are already weakening and your muscles are too soft to support them, even a minor fall can cause major damage. That's the danger of food that feels convenient but harms you from within. But change is possible, and it's simpler than you think. Start by choosing fresh, unprocessed sources of protein. Grilled chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, beans, lentils, and tofu give your body the fuel it knows how to use. Instead of cold cuts, cook extra meat at dinner and use leftovers for sandwiches. Add a handful of nuts or seeds to your salad. These small swaps can bring big rewards. In just a few weeks of avoiding processed meats, many patients notice stronger legs, fewer cramps, and better energy. They're not dragging their feet anymore. Literally. It's not magic. It's food. In the next section, we'll cover a common kitchen staple that almost every senior uses, but few realize it may be silently draining the strength from their legs. Number 4. High-sodium foods. Draining strength from your legs. Salt may look small on the surface, but inside your body it holds enormous power, especially if you're over 60. For decades, we've been told to worry about salt only when it comes to blood pressure. But there's something many doctors fail to say. Excess sodium doesn't just affect your heart. It affects your legs, your bones, your balance. One of the most common complaints I hear from older patients is this: "Doctor, my legs feel heavy. My ankles swell up. Even my shoes feel tight at the end of the day." And nearly every time, when we look deeper into their diet, salt is the quiet culprit. You see, when you consume too much salt, whether it's from processed soups, canned vegetables, store-bought sauces, or frozen meals, your body begins to hold on to water. It does this to try and balance the sodium levels in your blood, but all that water has to go somewhere. And for many people, it goes straight to the legs. That's why you may notice swelling in your feet, tightness around your calves, or puffiness in your knees. That swelling creates pressure, and pressure makes walking painful. I had a patient, Marion, 71 years old. She loved eating deli meats, soups, and pickles, foods packed with hidden sodium. She came in every month complaining of leg fatigue. She thought it was just part of getting old. We removed those high-sodium foods for just 3 weeks. And when she returned, "Doctor," she said with tears in her eyes, "I can walk to the mailbox again without stopping to rest." But salt doesn't just cause swelling. It narrows blood vessels. That makes it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach your muscles. Without proper circulation, your legs lose power. You may feel cramps, tingling, or weakness just from walking across a room. That's not just aging. That's the salt talking. And then there's your bones. Few seniors know this, but sodium can quietly steal calcium from your body. Yes, every time your salt intake goes too high, your kidneys respond by excreting more calcium in your urine. That means your bones get thinner, your joints more fragile, and your risk of fracture goes up. One fall on weakened legs can change your life completely. Here's what's even scarier. Most salt isn't coming from the shaker. It's hiding in places you'd never expect. Bread, cereal, salad dressings, even so-called healthy frozen meals. That's why reading nutrition labels is critical. Sodium should be under 400 millimicrograms per serving. If it's over 800 milligauss, think twice. Now, let's talk solutions. You don't have to eat bland food to eat smart. Use herbs like rosemary, thyme, or basil. Add lemon or garlic for flavor. Choose sea salt or Himalayan salt in small amounts. They contain trace minerals that help your muscles recover. Cook at home whenever possible. And when dining out, ask for sauces and dressings on the side. Most importantly, listen to your legs. If they feel heavy, stiff, or swollen, look at your salt intake before you assume it's just age. You deserve to move freely, without pain or pressure holding you back. And next, we'll reveal a food group so common, so trusted, that most people never question it. But for seniors, it could be quietly draining the energy and power from your muscles. Number 5, white bread and refined carbs, robbing your muscles of strength. For many seniors, a slice of toast in the morning, a sandwich at lunch, or a bowl of pasta at dinner feels like second nature. These foods have been with you for decades. They're warm, familiar, and comforting. But behind that comfort hides a slow decline. These refined carbohydrates, white bread, white rice, pasta, pastries, are quietly robbing your legs of the very strength that keeps you mobile and independent. Here's how it works. Unlike whole grains, which are rich in fiber and nutrients, refined carbs have been stripped of their natural parts. What's left behind is starch, pure, quick-burning energy that turns into sugar almost instantly in your bloodstream. That rapid sugar spike feels good for a moment. You might feel alert or even energized, but just as quickly, your blood sugar crashes. And when that happens, your muscles are left starved, tired, and unresponsive. This cycle of up and down energy wears on your legs. Walking becomes tiring. Standing up feels like lifting weights. Even small errands leave you winded. And the scariest part? You start to think, maybe I'm just getting old. But no, your body is telling you it needs real fuel, not empty calories. I remember one of my longtime patients, Earl, a retired carpenter in his late 60s. He came into my office saying, "Doc, I just don't have the same pep in my legs." He wasn't eating junk food, but his diet was filled with white bread, crackers, and white rice. We replaced those with whole grains, quinoa, oats, brown rice. Within a month, his balance improved, his legs felt lighter, and he told me, "I feel like I got 5 years back." The problem with refined carbs goes beyond sugar crashes. These foods promote inflammation throughout your body, and inflammation is the enemy of movement. It stiffens joints, weakens muscles, and leaves you feeling like you're walking through wet cement. If you ever feel like your legs are heavy, your knees ache for no reason, or you get fatigued easily, there's a good chance your refined carb intake is to blame. Another serious concern is how refined carbs interfere with muscle preservation. As you age, maintaining muscle is critical. Muscles help you stay balanced, prevent falls, and keep your bones strong. But when you fuel your body with refined carbs instead of protein and fiber, your muscles miss out on the building blocks they need to repair and grow. Over time, they shrink, and you start to lose your independence, one stair step at a time. And here's what's even more dangerous. Refined carbs often push out the good foods. When you fill up on bread or pasta, you're less likely to eat the vegetables, healthy fats, and lean proteins your body truly needs. That imbalance leads to faster decline, more inflammation, and more frequent pain. So what can you do? Start simple. Swap white bread for whole grain or sprouted bread. Replace white rice with brown rice, quinoa, or wild rice. Instead of sugary breakfast cereals, try oatmeal with fruit and nuts. Every small change helps restore balance to your blood sugar and rebuilds the strength your legs need. And most of all, listen to your body. If you feel tired after meals, if your legs feel unsteady or weak, don't ignore those signs. They are your body's way of saying, I need better fuel. In the next section, we'll talk about the foods that protect your legs, foods that can rebuild what's been lost and give you back the energy to move freely again. Number 6. Foods that build leg strength. What to eat instead. After everything we've covered, the sugars, the processed meats, the refined carbs, you might feel overwhelmed. You may even wonder, well, what can I eat then? The truth is, your body doesn't just need you to remove the bad. It needs you to feed it the good. Especially when it comes to your legs. The right foods can reduce pain, boost circulation, repair worn muscles, and keep your joints moving smoothly. When I meet older patients who are struggling with balance or fatigue, this is the first question I ask. What are you giving your legs to work with? Let's start with protein, the cornerstone of muscle health. Your legs are filled with powerful muscle groups that support your whole frame. Without enough protein, your muscles shrink, repair slows, and strength fades. But the good news is, you don't need steaks every day. Try grilled salmon, chicken, eggs, Greek yogurt, tofu, or even a handful of nuts. Just 20-30 grams of protein per meal can make a major difference. One of my patients, Sandra, was 72. She had always been a light eater. Toast for breakfast, maybe soup for lunch. She didn't realize her muscles were starving. We added a boiled egg in the morning, a protein smoothie for lunch, and fish twice a week. Within 6 weeks, she was walking farther, standing longer, and told me, I feel stronger than I have in years. But protein is just one piece. You also need healthy fats, avocados, olive oil, fatty fish, because they reduce joint inflammation. Think of them as oil for the engine. When you're eating healthy fats, your knees move smoother, your hips ache less, and your energy lasts longer. Don't forget about complex carbs. Yes, carbs can be your friend, if they come from the right source. Quinoa, oats, sweet potatoes, brown rice, and lentils give you long-lasting energy without the sugar crash. These slow-burning fuels help you stay active throughout the day, keeping your legs ready for whatever the day brings. Then there are the super greens, spinach, kale, broccoli. These foods are loaded with magnesium and calcium, both crucial for strong bones and muscle function. Pair them with foods rich in vitamin D, like eggs or fortified dairy, to help your body absorb the minerals properly. Finally, hydration. It's often overlooked, but water is essential for muscle health. Dehydrated muscles are tight, cramp more often, and take longer to recover. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses a day. If plain water's hard, try herbal teas or water infused with lemon or cucumber. It's never too late to start. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Start by adding just one of these leg-loving foods to each meal. Your body is always listening, and it responds quickly when you start feeding it what it truly needs. In the next section, we'll talk about daily habits. Because even with the perfect diet, your legs need movement, posture, and rhythm to stay strong. And just a few changes could change how you walk. For life. Number 7. Daily habits that strengthen or damage your legs. The small things that matter. Most seniors think that if they aren't in pain, their legs must be fine. But that's rarely true. Often, the most damaging habits are the ones we don't even notice. Habits we repeat every single day without question. The way you sit, the way you stand, the way you move. All of these shape the future of your mobility. Let's start with sitting. Too much sitting is one of the most dangerous things for aging legs. When you sit for long hours, especially in the same position, your blood flow slows down, your muscles begin to weaken, your joints stiffen, and your legs start losing the strength they once had. Even if you eat well, if you sit all day, you're slowly working against your progress. Take James, a 76-year-old patient of mine who loved watching TV. He would sit for hours in his recliner. When he stood up, his knees would ache and his legs would shake. He thought it was arthritis. But really, his muscles had simply grown too inactive. I gave him a rule: stand up every 30 minutes, stretch your legs, walk around the house. Within 3 weeks, the pain eased, and he said, "Doc, I didn't know moving a little could do so much." It's not just sitting. Posture matters too. Slouching while seated or leaning to one side when standing puts uneven pressure on your joints and muscles. Over time, this causes imbalances, one leg working harder than the other. This leads to hip pain, knee strain, and even falls. How you walk matters as well. Do you drag your feet? Take small, shuffled steps? Those may seem like minor changes, but they're often signs that your muscles are weak, your balance is off, or your joints are in trouble. Walking should feel light and steady, not like a chore. If it does, your body is asking for help. Here's what I tell my patients. Move with intention. Don't just go through the motions. When you stand, stand tall. When you sit, adjust your posture. When you walk, lift your feet and move purposefully. Every step you take is either building strength or losing it. One overlooked habit? Wearing the wrong shoes. Flip-flops, worn-out sneakers, or shoes without arch support can silently wreck your knees and hips. Choose shoes with proper cushioning and support. They don't have to be expensive, just stable, comfortable, and secure. And finally, balance. Many seniors avoid standing on one foot or taking stairs, but these small challenges keep your reflexes sharp. Try brushing your teeth while standing on one leg. Use the stairs a few times a day if safe. These tiny habits add up, and they build confidence. What seems small today can make a big difference tomorrow. Don't underestimate your daily routine. Your legs are watching. So give them movement. Give them purpose. In the next section, I'll show you a simple daily routine that protects your legs and takes less than 10 minutes a day. Is it too late to change? That's the question many of my patients whisper, usually after sharing years of pain, regret, or fear. But here's what I tell them every single time. No, it is never too late. Your body is always listening. It wants to heal. It wants to move again. It just needs you to believe it's still possible. I remember Thomas, 78, retired firefighter. He came to me using a cane, convinced his walking days were over. "Doc, I'm just old," he said. "My legs are done." But I saw something different. I saw potential. We made small changes, less sugar, more protein, a bit of movement each day. 8 weeks later, he walked into my office without that cane. He stood tall, proud, with tears in his eyes. "I thought I was finished," he told me. "But I was wrong. That's what I want you to know. You are not finished. Your legs can still support you. Your strength isn't gone. It's just waiting to be rebuilt. One better choice. One good meal. One walks around the house. That's all it takes to begin again." So here's what I invite you to do right now. Choose one food we discussed today and remove it from your meals. Choose one powerful leg-friendly food and add it in. Then tell me in the comments, what change will you make this week? Your story matters, your health matters, and your future is still in your hands. If you want a powerful next step, click the video on the screen now. Regain strong legs overnight with these 5 vegetables. These aren't miracle cures, but they are nature's secret allies, and they might just help you feel stronger overnight. Because you're not too old. It's not too late.